sorry for that. Something happened. I have do it again. Yeah, but the basic thing I say before was I really hope they make a skin for his sword. That his sword can look like a shamshir, like maybe a glowing purple shamshir. It's something I really want to see. They have the chakram. They can use a shamshir. If they have a shamshir skin for his sword, I'm gonna buy it. Absolutely, that is. I really want them to have a shamshir or a Tulwara sword, like a fantasy Tulwara sword for the tiger guy, and this could be awesome if they do that. And yeah, let's continue.
Splash art, and I'm going to go ahead and say his weapons look amazing. The color looks amazing. Now that I can see it in comparison, you look amazing as Tyaiberus. It's all coming together.
It's like you've seen him before,
yeah,
right?
It feels very familiar.
Kevin was reading the lore, and he was just like, it's like when I look in the mirror.
History. Yeah.
I'm really just telling my own tale at this point.
Shout out to Jeff
Bellion. Is one thing I really want to ask is, of all the new champions that was released, have been released in Paladin, what is your favorite of all of them? My favorite is absolutely this guy, Tyaiberus. I think I don't know any champion in Paladin is cooler than this guy. I think that is the absolutely coolest guy, and for me I so much look forward to play this guy, and I cannot wait to January to play him. I cannot wait. I'm so stoked to play him and his weapons and his style of look, and like a tiger style with a headband. Maybe they could do a skin for him, like with tattoos. Like they can maybe some cool tattoos for this guy, or some like you can maybe have like a purple hair and a green. There's many cool things you can do with this guy, and it should be nice to see his new map and all of this kind of thing. And yeah, let's continue. This guy looks awesome, and yeah.
Splash art, our lead concept artist, did an amazing job.
And so we have not only this look at him, but I guess, you've seen and heard a little bit of his voice, but we have the turnaround so you can see the 3D model as well as listen to his voice back.
Attention all, have no fear. The glorious Tyaiberus is here to save the day. Please, enjoy the show.
This is very interesting. He have a gladiator style, he have an Indian throwing weapon, a fantasy version of a Middle Eastern sword, and his accent is French. So yeah, it's possible that he it's a fantasy now, but we know that the French is not connected. This is nothing to connect to history, but we know in history aspect that French soldiers work with the Sikhs against the British. They give them weapons, so that is not totally unfetched. Our Indian guy talking French with Sikh weapons, a chakram, and this kind of thing. So yeah, it's a very interesting combination, like a Roman name, French dialect, Indian weapons, and like a Chinese map. And it's a very cool combination with this guy. And yeah, now, yeah.
I will be the last thing you see before you die. Lucky you.
So that accompanied with what you had kind of said is like him being this entertainer, he's out there kind of having fun doing his thing, but he just happens to be really, really menacing and a huge threat with these weapons, so you can't really call him on anything that he's saying. And it all fits together to make this guy, who in the video, he looked at Rom like he was nothing.
Yep. His voice especially came out quite perfect.
Let's hold it on the abilities for now.
Yeah. So this is one of those.
Yeah, and one little thing I want to say fast before we continue is this very nice sound when he throws his chakram. Like this sound is very nice, and let's see what kind of ultimate he have with this kind of thing.
things. I think there's a lot of things about him that I have seen, and I've kind of seen as they've gone through their iterations from original concept when you were like talking about some base things you wanted to see in this champion. I don't know how many months ago to what we have been able to kind of accomplish that we'll see today. But what is he coming with, I guess, in weapons-wise? Like just basic attacks, what are we looking at?
So first up, he's a weapons master, and his in-hand is the bladed chakram. So this is actually a weapon that, from design, we've wanted to do for a while. This is a gameplay hook. Projectiles that bounce off walls and interact in a unique way.
This chakram weapon with this effect when it bounces on walls, this bouncing effect is gonna be a nightmare for other players to deal with. People are gonna be so angry. People are gonna be mad of this attack. Like if you're a good player, if you know what kind of wall you throw the chakram on to bounce on the enemy, it's gonna be a nightmare. I love this effect. I love it. Gonna play him. So for me, it's gonna be lovely to throw this chakra on walls. But if you fight against him, people are gonna love to play him, but people are gonna hate to play against him. That is the hero, the champion's gonna be. And some champion you can just you don't care about to play against, for they don't so much interesting. But to play against Tyaiberus, the weapons master of the throwing chakram, is gonna be a freaking nightmare. It's gonna be like, if I have never played Overwatch, like I only played Overwatch maybe one time, very short time. But people know how when they play against Hanzo and they jump into Paladin, they maybe know how to handle this, for they are used to bouncing arrows, this bouncing, and this is the difference here is a chakram. Chakram is much bigger, and arrow, but it's gonna be a freaking nightmare with this weapon. And I love the idea with bouncing chakram. It's a cool idea, but people are gonna be mad as hell when they play against it, because how do you escape it? You can, if you jump behind a wall, many like a sniper shooters in this game, gonna be a problem for them, for they need to find an angle that you always are safe when you shoot your sniper. When he threw his chakram and they bounce on walls, it's gonna be very hard for them to really concentrate. It's the perfect guy to kick, to interrupt snipers, and this, it's a very nice, gonna be a very nice idea to play this effect and this kind of extra effect with his bouncing on walls and this kind of thing, and it's gonna be a nightmare play against it. And I think, gonna be hard, fun and hard, and from both sides. And let's continue.
So we're really excited. At base, his weapons deal 650 damage, but they can also bounce off walls for reduced damage.
Oh my god. So much damage. They gonna have to buff him. I don't care how much damage it takes. I love this guy, and it's gonna be my 100% Amani, and I think Tyaiberus is absolutely gonna be my favorite champion to play of all time. I'm 98% sure he's gonna be my favorite guy to play against. But his damage is too high. Like it's one thing to only have throwing chakram, but when his chakram can bounce and have this much damage, it's gonna be a nightmare without equal to deal with this. I understand if people are gonna be extremely mad when they play against this guy. I really understand that, for this too much. It's insanely powerful, and insanely it's too effective. It's too powerful to be a fair fight. Like, he is gonna be too effective. against everything. It's like you can just throw something and bounce behind the shield. You can bounce sideways, left way, up, down. There's so many different things you can do with this weapon to make it fair for fight against it. It's like the only luck that this weapon is not a seeking missile. This is the only luck. It's slightly close to seeking missile, but it's not. It's the only thing. If this was a seeking missile effect too, it's impossible to defeat this guy. But he have so effective weapon. And this is I only have start talking about the chakram, and this is just one weapon he have, and then is how much his sword can do and this kind of thing. So yeah, let's continue with the video. And I like this guy. I love all the thing he have. How he look, his weapon, and he's a tiger. I love tigers. Tiger is the coolest thing ever, the coolest cat ever, and I love it. But his freaking chakram gonna be a freaking nightmare. Yeah, let's continue.
They will deal. But they will be at full efficiency, so there's no dampening. If it's a hit from a bounce, you'll get the little combo marker just to indicate that was a weapon bounce in hand, just to distinguish between it. So and cool. It again does the just slightly less damage. And this is a really, really fun ability. One thing about our maps is not all of them are going to work the best, but especially on our point fights, this is a really, really fun mechanic. Yeah. Especially when you're able to get that kill around a corner, just like perfectly timing the bounce off the wall.
Okay.
And that's going to be so crucial. I mean, we've seen how ridiculous some people's aim already is. So now adding in the fact that you can go for like some ricochet shots on that one, I am ready for montages already, so I hope that when he comes out, like within a week, if you're not on PTS, at least within a week of release, I want to have some crazy montages with these attacks.
Oh, there's that Grover spray, by the way.
So yeah, I guess we're going to show off the leap now as well.
Yeah.
So, Tyaiberus, can we slow down on the abilities, by the way? So Tyaiberus is going to have a short delay. This is just kind of a movement ability in and out. And It does have a talent that's going to be able to add damage to it. It's really just a ability that's going to transport him locations. He is a damage character. Most of his kit is really about brawling and fighting characters, and then locking down enemies at long range with either bounces or his ult fire. But there is some drawback to this ability, mostly in that it's got a 0.5 pre-fire, so it's not instant, so you kind of have to think a little bit before using it, and it's just a forward momentum impulse. Mostly horizontal.
So it's a good kind of get me out of this engagement, especially as like a damage. You don't want to take it all, but there's just enough that if you don't react fast enough, you will still kind of die, I guess, in that pre-fire time.
And this ability is called Crouching Tigron.
Perfect name.
Oh, I guess we're showing all the abilities.
But
let's take this. We're going to take this one step at a time, cameraman. One ability at a time.
I just want to say once more about the bouncing effect with his chakram. Is of course every new champion is hard to deal with in the beginning. Obviously, they should be that for people who want to play. Like if you are overpowered, you much more love to play it. And of course, but all people can learn about how to deal with the new champion. And of course, even old champions, like very old champions in Paladin, are still very hard to deal with. But you can always train to deal with it. Like if people play Overwatch, they every day have to deal with Hanzo. And like say, this is going to be similar for people in January and after January to deal with Tyaiberus. And it's just to find a way how to fight against him in a good way. Like in the beginning, gonna be extremely painful, hard to play against him because he's bouncing effects and this kind of thing. But when people learn in the beginning, learn after some time to fight against, they're gonna learn what to stand, what to walk, when his chakram is throwing, and how to exactly plan it, to jump aside, when the bouncing effect and this kind of thing, and like. Yeah, people gonna know, people know how to deal with it, and maybe gonna take longer for me to get dealing with Tyaiberus and to deal with Rom. Maybe I have no idea. And this kind of thing, but yeah, so there's not need any panic for this guy. He's gonna be extremely hard to deal with, but you can always win over him in the end. It's not impossible, but he have effective good weapons. I understand people are worried for this guy to fight against him. He's very effective weapons, but yeah, let's continue.
So far, we've gotten kind of, I guess, like the two basics that you want in a damage champion. How he's dealing damage,
Yes.
as well as kind of what is most unique, I would argue, about his kit, having the shots you can bounce off walls. You get his disengage, but what other abilities is he bringing to the table?
So that is his movement ability and his in-hand. He has a self-stim, which is combat trance. So this is going to be your Q ability or ability 1. And this is just going to be an attack and movement speed stim. So you increase your rate of fire. This is where type.
Okay. Yeah. This one of his special attacks. Yeah. I almost gonna say. I regret what I say. A minute ago, that it's gonna be easy way to learn to fight against him. I say like this: prepare for a long time of defeat when you played against it. I only say that. Paladin is a very good game, but this guy is, I don't know how people. Yeah, I like this guy, but I have to be honest now. He is too overpowered. He's insane. Like, maybe if you're Rom, you have a chance against him, and you're a good Rom player. And maybe if you're Amani and the other white-haired princess with the, I totally forgot her name. Don't matter. But this guy is. Yeah, he's freaking overpowered. With this speed throwing with bouncing effect too is, yeah. I really wondering how many people get how. Yeah, I love this. I always gonna say I love this guy, but I really do. I love how he look, but people gonna hate him when you play against him. I promise you, even I gonna hate him when I play against him. For it's insane when you have this kind of effect, and many people like to spam. It's like this is a spam dream with this guy. When he throw his chakram and you spam the button, it's gonna be people gonna be so mad. People gonna be so freaking mad, yeah. Let's continue to see the next effect. Yeah.
Tyaiberus is actually the most deadly. His DPS on his in-hand is a little bit low for damage characters.
Yeah.
But when he pops combat trance, that's his moment that you are going to be really powerful, and you need to be very careful if you're fighting him and look for this mode specifically. He just channels his energy and becomes really this menacing tiger.
And I'm already thinking of like fun little scenarios, like, being able to bounce it off of walls. You find yourself in an engagement. In a point fight, there happens to be a wall right there, and you're like, that tank looks just precariously low enough that I could do this. You pop your stim, and all of a sudden they're gone. Even with 500, you get those many shots off, it makes a pretty easy target.
This is a character designed to really combo his abilities well.
Yeah.
And we could probably show that off here. So as you're leaping, you can actually pop your attack speed stim.
So up and pop it. So you can start because of the timing, you can start.
Wait. There was he just looked like he can throw his chakram through shields. Maybe I really hope I see wrong there. That if he have the bouncing effect, the speed throws, and he can throw through shields, I have to go back a bit to see that if that I see wrong. Wait, like here.
Adding in the fact that you can go for like some ricochet shots on that one. I am ready for montages already. So I hope that when he comes out, like within a week, if you're not on PTS, at least within a week of release, I want to have some crazy montages with these attacks.
Oh, there's that Grover spray, by the way.
So yeah, I guess we're going to show off the leap now as well.
Yeah.
So, Tiberius, can we slow down on the abilities, by the way?
I forgot to see that when I see now when he jump, he's so fast. He's I really like he jumps fast as hell, and he's overpowered. Like I can't find anybody else should will not agree with me in this. It's like he can jump over shield, he can throw on walls, he can speed throw. Like there's only three things that, or one thing of two, three things that I can see right away. They're gonna be, How gonna people deal with this? It's like iOS was one thing. iOS was not special. Amani, you can just kill her or hide for her dragon. Leon is just to go behind her or sideways to hers. She can miss you, or trains with his spitting bombs and this kind of thing. But this guy is almost impossible to escape him. It's They make a perfect predator, as a tiger are a perfect predator, but this, it's gonna be hell on earth when people play against him, and it's gonna be like a killing machine on steroid and this kind of thing, and let's continue.
So Tiberius is going to have a short delay. This is just kind of a movement ability in and out. He does have a talent that's going to be able to add damage to it. It's really just a ability that's going to transport him locations. He is a damage character. Most of his kit is really about brawling and fighting characters, and then locking down enemies at long range with either bounces or his ult fire. But there is some drawback to this ability, mostly in that it's got a 0.5 pre-fire, so it's not instant, so you kind of have to think a little bit before using it, and it's just a forward momentum impulse, mostly horizontal though.
So it's a good kind of get me out of this engagement, especially as like a damage, you don't want to take it all, but there's just enough that if you don't react fast enough, you will still kind of die, I guess, in that pre-fire time.
And this ability is called...
The thing, if you really look, I don't know if you see it the first time. I don't see it the first one. The first, when he his jump is so long. He throws so. It's maybe I hope that is one of his effects. That is not normally how long he can jump. This jump is so long. Like he almost flying a bit to the next part when he jump. And it's I only can say this is gonna be a nightmare. Let's continue.
Crouching Tigron.
Perfect name.
Oh, I guess we're showing all the abilities.
But
let's take this. We're gonna take this one step at a time, cameraman. One ability at a time.
So far, we've gotten kind of, I guess, like the two basics that you want in a damage champion. How he's dealing damage, as well as kind of what is most unique, I would argue, about his kit, having the shots you can bounce off walls. You get his disengage, but what other abilities is he bringing to the table?
So that is his movement ability and his in-hand. He has a self-stim, which is combat trance. So this is going to be your Q ability or ability 1. And this is just going to be an attack and movement speed stim. So you increase your rate of fire. This is where Tiberius is actually the most deadly. His DPS on his in-hand is a little bit low for damage characters. But when he pops combat trance, that's his moment that you are going to be really powerful, and you need to be very careful if you're fighting him and look for this.
I only going to say like this. if you are playing a champions and use energy shield, and you rely on the shields, you always have rely on your shield. I'm only gonna say this: stop relying on your shield right now. For the shield have no use when Tiberius is out. I will only say that. I only say if you're some Fernando or some like Atlas or you know something of this type of thing, really learn to play these champions without to learn them to fight good without a shield. Or if you are a Khan, for when Tiberius is out, the shield will have no effect anymore. If you don't stand, if you maybe far away from a tree or a wall, you are maybe you're a save. But so long you're close to a wall or a tree, and there's many trees and many walls in Paladins maps, and you really have to learn to fight good without a shield. But your shield will have no effect anymore. He just can throw something behind you and over you to come to hit you in the back. So like a shield means nothing anymore. And so don't rely on shield. Maybe if you Makoa, you have a shield around hold your body. Maybe I hope shield will work, but I'm very uncertain now. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna say he have some attack that can go through shield, but yeah, it's if you have just a simple forward shield, yeah, it's not point anymore. For his weapons will go around it, and this kind of
mode specifically. He just channels his energy and becomes really this menacing tiger.
And I'm already thinking of like fun little scenarios, like, you know, being able to bounce it off of walls. You find yourself in an engagement and a point fight, there happens to be a wall right there, and you're like, huh, that tank looks just precariously low enough that I could do this. You pop your stim, all of a sudden they're gone. Even with 500, you get those many shots off, it makes it pretty easy target.
This is a character designed to really combo his abilities well.
Yeah.
And we could probably show that off here. So as you're leaping, you can actually pop your attack speed stim.
So up and pop it. So you can start because of the timing, you can start firing before you hit the ground.
That's a big thing, right, is that Tiberius is going to be leaping through the air and still able to interact and fight with opponents. We actually did a very special animation for enemies for this.
Like he have two things he can get you behind, if you have a shield. One thing, he can jump very long, so he can just jump over you and throw behind you, and he can throw one of his chakram on the wall and they will bounce behind you. So you have two different ways to get you behind when you protect yourself behind the shield. Two ways. So it's as I said before, the shields will have no meaning anymore. When people train with Tiberius and people are gonna be master Tiberius players, no, don't. The shield will be gone. The shield will be obsolete forever because the Tiberius weapon is like too effective, and it's no point with any shield anymore. So it gotta be interesting. It gotta be interesting to hear other YouTubers' reaction when they have played Tiberius. Like it's gonna be very interesting to play him and hear other people, like the expert players, talk about him and how it was to fight against him. This kind of thing was very interesting because of there's gonna be many rages. I think people who play video game or computer game, they always gonna hate something that is and I understand why they will hate it, because of this too overpowered. Let's continue.
So if you could actually go to 3P and then use Crouching Tiger, this just looks cool, so I want to show it off. I think Wraith or Thunderbrush can be the best at talking about this one.
Yeah. With this ability, we just essentially wanted him to feel more like more akin to a martial arts master, and just look awesome through the leap itself.
And it also comes with a feel of, a weapons master isn't just going to be good with weapons. Like, he's going to have had to learn different kind of martial arts throughout his life to figure out how to fight you, what's the best way to approach this, and work with those weapons. So it all kind of comes and culminates here.
With new champions where we can, we really want to add more of a sense of sort of acrobaticness, I guess you would say. That's probably the wrong word. But we wanted to feel just more
Alternate fire is called heavy blade, and this is there's not a lot of lockouts between your abilities. It's about what is kind of the cool martial artist way that you're going to take out your opponent. Are you going to throw a sword through them and then recall it and then bounce off a chakram off the wall, or leap in, throwing your chakrams with enhanced attack speed and movement speed for a short duration? There's a lot of ways that players are going to be able to experience Tyaiberus, and I think there's a lot of ways that people are going to be able to find success when playing him.
And again, the amount of plays that I can see that can come out of it just out of, hey, I'm going to bounce this shot off this wall, throw my sword over there, recall it at a different angle so maybe it hits you on the way back. Like, there's a lot of movement and just kind of outplayability built in here that is going to make it go from very easy to grasp at the beginning, very difficult to master towards the end, which I think fits a weapons master better than anything.
Oh, absolutely. There's a really nice sort of aggressive factor that is really cool about Tyaiberus. So he's not sort of the peaceful traveling martial arts monk character. He's arrogant. He's kind of fast and just really sure of himself, and it feels reflected in everything he does that the kit also really syncs up with really well. Our animation team, led by Jim, did a really great job of bringing the character to life.
We also did not make it easy for them.
No, it never is. Can't make it too easy though. But yeah, overall he just came together real fantastic and does a wonderful job of selling everything that matches the gameplay kit.
And so far it's been perfect, and I guess that's going to be the one that comes through. You've used it, Strix has used it, I have to use it at least once.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wait. He can throw his chakram so long away, like it's insane. So yeah. I don't know how. It's insane way. And it's one thing if you can just throw, but when you have the effect, bouncing effect, and this far away, you can hit your opponent. It's gonna be interesting to see how people will react to this new champion when he's out and this kind of thing. And I really look to see. We'll see his ultimate, how they look like, and it's gonna be interesting.
that's, again, only his, I guess, offhand attack, as you would have it, is right
a lot
click.
of things for this character.
There's even more to go into, and so I'll let you take the play once again.
You know what? Let's just show it off, Anthony. Let's just bust it out. This is Blade Dance's ultimate. Yeah. Just use all the abilities.
So good, the animation.
I'm really excited. So this ability is called Blade Dance. So you enter a state for up to 15 seconds, and you unlock 2 new abilities. Striking Tigron, which is the dash, and Whirling Blades, which is the twirl. So twirl, your damage immune. Tyaiberus is actually blocking all incoming damage, and he's going to apply damage in an AoE when he lands. And you have 5 charges of this. This is what I like most about this ability, is that both the abilities are trying to do 2 different things. One is a damage immunity state with a good knockback and higher damage, a little bit harder to control, and your
This super attack gonna be a good counter to Jin's super attack, and like some other super attacks. When he's spinning, like he have 3 different versions of the spin, some slash, and this kind of thing, and it's gonna be it's gonna be. It's very cool effect. Absolutely, it's a very, very cool effect in this kind of thing, and this probably is.
dash is just like it's just your quintessential like anime dash through, slice your sword, but it just feels so good to play with. You can dash through again all players. There's a little bit of delay between using these abilities, but the whole point is that players are going to have different situations in which both of those abilities are going to be able to find success. You can use it to escape. You can see it's got actual aerial directionality.
Yeah.
With striking Tigron, so you could just use it to reposition completely if you're in a bad spot.
Again, animation team really dropped everyone's jaw at an early champion review we had with this guy. When we saw the ult the first time, we knew it was like, yep, that's it.
And I think that was a good showcase, that last little bit. You had said you enter it for 15 seconds, but it's really just either 15 seconds or if you use all your charges.
You have
so
5
you get
charges.
one of the two, and that just looks amazing. And it allows you, like, it's just enough distance that even though you're having to use a sword and it has to become kind of like melee damage, you don't feel too bad about getting up close with them.
Yep.
But like you said, it's also a good, I need to get out of here, and I need to get out of here fast and safe. That's my way out.
And this is a character that one of our design goals for 2020 as a whole for Paladins is play your way, right?
Yeah.
And this is a character that I think really embodies that mindset. In that there's just a lot of capabilities and combinations that you can come up with. Sure, there may be a meta one, but I think players can have fun with this champ, playing it in a variety of different ways, putting emphasis on the sword, or maybe you're really good at bouncing your chakrams, or maybe you just want to feel like a weeb. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. What I love is kind of like what you said. There's probably going to be like a meta of this is where he's picked and this is maybe the style, quote unquote, that he's played. But like, he's so adaptable that there's never going to be something true. It's like, okay, you're going to play in the back, but at the same time, if we need that guy killed and you're the one with your ult, like, get in there, go fight him. You can change on the fly.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of people that are like, why isn't he a flank versus a damage? And it's, we've kind of gotten to 40, is this 44?
I think so.
it's
44?
Yeah.
We got a lot of characters.
It's a lot of people.
There's a lot of champions in our game. So there's definitely characters that I think already embody the idea of hybrid playstyles. And while Tyaiberus is primarily a damage, he definitely has flanking capabilities.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a ton of self-survivability in his kit. But he's able to get in and really kind of eliminate people quickly. But he has to be a little bit more careful. He doesn't have as many defensive tools as a traditional flank will. But I like the idea that a character, even if they're traditionally damaged,